everybody and welcome to my Christmas book haul. I celebrate Christmas and I got a lot of books and I want to show them to you. So there's kind of three piles. The first is stuff that I got on my trip to London. So the 2 weeks before Christmas, I went to London, I visited my boyfriend Greg, I had an awesome 2 weeks and we visited loads of bookstores and I ended up getting a bunch of books. So, I want to show them to you. The first one is I, Robot by Isaac Asimov. This is really exciting because I got this t-shirt I didn't even plan to wear, but this I, Robot t-shirt. I never thought of reading I, Robot until I got this shirt and I started getting really curious about it and really looking into it, and then I suddenly really wanted to read it, and so then every bookstore we went to I would look for I, Robot, and this was the best edition that I found. It's so cool. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The next thing I picked up on a whim, I went to the poetry section. I've been dabbling a bit into poetry lately, and I picked this up. It's called Dear Boy by Emily Berry. So a couple of things about this one jumped out at me. I opened a poem and I read it and I found it really funny and relatable. I read the back flap and it turns out that the author went to the same university that my boyfriend goes to, and she won an award called the Gregory Award, which is the name of my boyfriend, and so just a bunch of things started piling up and I read a few of the things and they seemed really interesting how she uses form, so I just decided to pick it up and I'm excited to read it. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. In the new year, I have a project you'll be seeing about trying to read a lot of magical realism, and so I saw this book and I decided to pick it up for that project, and it is The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. It's about a girl who is totally normal except for the fact that she was born with these giant wings. I love magical realism. I find it so bizarre and interesting to have a very normal setting but then something really bizarre and out of place. I find that super cool. So I want to see how do these wings affect her life and how are they dealt with in the story. So yeah, I think it's gonna be great. Next up, this was a total impulse buy when I was at the cash register, or since I was in England, the till. I found this, How to Become a Writer by Laurie Moore, a Faber Modern Classics. It's just a little tiny pamphlet. It's got giant margins and it's only 25 pages long, but it's like a little essay on how to become a writer. I want to be a writer, and so I thought, hey, this might be a cute little thing. Who knows? The next book is something that my boyfriend gave me and was a total surprise. I've never heard of it, but it sounds perfect for me. It's called An Attempt at Exhausting a Place in Paris by Georges Perec. So basically, this guy in Paris went to this bench, sat down, and just watched. And then he wrote all of this stuff down of all of the stuff he saw while he was sitting on this bench. And I just think that that sounds like it would be really interesting. I love that kind of observational thinking. I think it's gonna be great. So this is gonna be an interesting little study. And the last thing I got while I was in England is empty. It's a notebook. I saw this notebook when I was in a really cool store called Liberty in London, and it's cork. It's made of cork board and it has all of these little colored flecks in it. I think that it's so pretty and really beautiful and I want to fill it up. So this is gonna be my next notebook and I'm really excited about that. I'm out of focus, back in focus. My next little pile of books is books that I got for myself yesterday when I went to Chapters because my parents gave me gift cards to go and get myself some books. So the first two I actually went into the store for. I went in with a plan. I knew I wanted to get something by this author. Ended up getting two things by this author. Oops. And that is Haruki Murakami. Oh, this is more magical realism, and he is very much like highly respected in the world of magical realism. So this is the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. It says it's about a guy who goes to find his wife's missing cat and then ends up having to look for his wife as well, and it's all sorts of like an adventure of misadventures, and it sounds fantastic. And then this is Norwegian Wood, also by Haruki Murakami. Can we talk about how great these covers are? I love them. They're so mystical. I'm super excited that these editions exist, because now if I love this author, I'm just gonna keep buying them in these covers because they're so pretty. And then the last three books in this pile I hadn't heard of before I went into the store. Well, that's a lie. You'll see what I mean. So the first one is My Life Before Me by Nora McClintock. When I was much younger, I read so many books by Nora McClintock. In fact, They're all over here. And I read them over and over. I was devoted. I loved those books so much. And then I just kind of didn't really look into the author again. She writes kind of mystery crime books for teens, and this takes place in the 1960s and has to do with race politics, which I think would be really interesting, awesome diversity. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be like a really nice little nostalgic thing. Even though it's a story I haven't read, it's by an author I used to really love. And then I went to the poetry section again, and I found Love Poems by Pablo Neruda. First of all, entranced by the beauty of this tiny little book. It's so pretty and delicate. I have heard of Pablo Neruda around, but the main place I've heard of him about is in How I Met Your Mother. I love that show, and in How I Met Your Mother, the main character, Ted, really loves Pablo Neruda. And so when I saw this, I was like, ah, I want it! The other really cool thing is that this edition has all of the poems in Spanish on one side and in English on the other side, which I think is really cool because all the translations I've ever read of books have just been the English side. I've never seen what the original was. Thankfully, I speak and can read Spanish, so I think it's going to be really cool to be able to read the English poem and then read the Spanish poem and see if I agree with the translation. I'll probably agree, but it's just interesting to get to see that work. I don't know if you can tell by my voice. I think you can. I have a bit of a cold. I just had to go and blow my nose, so my nose is a bit pink now, but we're just gonna accept that. So the last book I have for this pile is If This Isn't Nice, What Is? Advice to the Young by Kurt Vonnegut. So I have read only one book by Kurt Vonnegut. It was Cat's Cradle, but it was so good. It was so good. It is 9 speeches that he did for universities and colleges at the commencement graduation ceremony. First of all, I've read a few speeches from other people, Neil Gaiman, J.K. Rowling, and found them really interesting and inspirational. But secondly, I'm graduating university in 4 months. It's a bit of an existential crisis, actually, and I thought it would be really cool to read some speeches by someone that I really like. I've already read 2 of them, and they're so good. They're so good, they're really, really funny, they're really interesting, and in my opinion, insightful. So I'm really liking this so far. So the last pile of things I want to show you is a digital pile. Getting into some digital media here. So the first 2 books are ebooks. I got Brooklyn by Colm Tóibín, I think. Tóibín? I'm not sure. I'm so excited to see the film. I'm afraid that it's gonna, like, be too close to my own personal experience in life. Like, I'm gonna watch this film and just feel like it's a film version of my own life and struggles. I think this is gonna be awesome. The other ebook I got is It's Not Me, It's You by Myra McFarlane. So I got this on a complete whim. I was watching a video by my friend Lena. I'll link her channel and that video down below. And she mentioned this was a kind of chick lit, fun women's fiction book that's really great, and that genre oftentimes gets really shamed for no reason, because they can still be really fun, excellent, interesting, intelligent books. And I really agreed with her and realized that I hadn't read anything in that genre in a really long time. She spoke really highly of this book, so I checked it on the iBook store and it was only $2. And so I was like, yeah, definitely, and I bought it right away. So I really don't know what it's about. I'm just gonna trust Lena on this one, but I'm really excited about it. Finally, for my little digital pile, I have 2 audiobooks. So the first one is Modern Love by Aziz Ansari and Eric Klinenberg. I got them on my phone. So this is really exciting because I binge watched Master of None by Aziz Ansari and, ooh, who is it? Alan Yang, I think? And it was so good. I really, really enjoyed that show. I really enjoyed Aziz Ansari's humor and commentary, so I definitely think that this is gonna be interesting and fun. And the other thing I got, by the way, I got these because my brother had extra credits and gave them to me for Christmas, so yay. I got Smoke and Mirrors by Neil Gaiman. So I super mega love listening to audiobooks by Neil Gaiman. They are like my favorite thing. His narrator voice is, I mean, it's just his normal voice, but his voice is fantastic. It's so gorgeous. It's got the best British accent. I have listened to like 4 or 5 audiobooks by Neil Gaiman. They've all been amazing, and so I'm super pumped for another one. And that is my Christmas book haul. Thank you everybody for watching. Please down below let me know, have you read any of these books, and tell me if I should be excited. I am excited, but like which one should I be the most excited about? Which one should I read sooner rather than later? I don't know. I'm really happy about this pile. I'm hoping I can get to all of this stuff really soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!